All right, you guys, let's roll into this because I'm so excited to learn myself. I've had like my notebook and my pencil ready for like 10 minutes for real because I'm excited to learn from you. All the things that you have been doing this last year. I was trying to think the last time you were on one of our calls. It's been at least a year, I think. But really, you guys, like, I for those of you who have not been on one of our calls with Renee, she is, and you tell me if I'm saying anything that's wrong, because I didn't even ask you like updated info, but
it doesn't matter.
Yeah, 6-star Golden Circle, Start 1000, which is, gosh, such one of the coolest things ever to me still. Top leader in action, 304th millionaire in Isogenics, which is just incredible. Mother of 3. I love watching your motherhood journeys. Currently has all her kids shipped off and doing different fun summer activities. It's kind of how we're getting by these days, I think. But quit corporate America, gosh, 5 years ago, almost 6 now.
Oh God, 7. It's
7.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So yeah. And exceeding a 6-figure income, which is just amazing. Her kids are everything. They're definitely her why. So yeah, why don't you start just a little bit by sharing your story with us? Because I think it's such a powerful one.
So I was actually introduced to Isogenics by a college acquaintance of mine. So I say that because I want you to know that you never know who's watching you. She had no idea that I was watching her on social media. And I was just curious. Now, I was more curious about her products at the time, which is fine because that can always be kind of your entree or entrance into something. But I was dealing with a lot of digestive issues. So it just sparked me to reach out. I was super skeptical. It took me 2 months to decide, 2 months too long, but we're all on our own schedule and our own time. And I put the products in my body and I just absolutely loved it. And I think this goes for anything, whether you're somebody who's really focused collagen or you're focused nutrition or you're 50-50, it doesn't really matter. Because when people put these products in their body or they consume them, they're going to see some type of shift. And in most cases, it's within 30 days. They're going to see something, no matter what they're using. For me, that was what fueled me. I couldn't keep quiet about it. I'm actually that type of person that if you get stuck next to me in the grocery store, happened today, that you get stuck taking home whatever it is that you're looking at. Like there was this woman who was in the sunblock aisle and I was looking for a specific sunblock. As you probably may or may not know, there's been a huge recall on sunblocks this week. And so the shelves were really sparse. And she had picked one up and I'm like, oh, have you ever used that before? And she goes, no. And I'm like, well, I just want to let you know that it goes on really white. It's like really bright. I said, but if you like the style, this is the best kind to get. They don't have it here right now. And I just went on and I'm like, bless her heart. She got stuck next to the wrong person because I'm so passionate about all the things. So that just kind of fueled my fire. And when someone showed me that there was a financial opportunity with this business, my mind started turning and I started thinking about all the areas of my life where I had gaps to fill. And the first one really was that my husband was getting ready to graduate with his MBA and we were getting ready to take on his loan repayment debt. And we were already paycheck to paycheck with 2 kids in daycare and a mortgage because our daycare payment was more than our mortgage at the time. And while I made a good living. Like I was making 6 figures. So that's important for you guys to know. We were still living paycheck to paycheck. So I saw this as an opportunity for me to have some financial breathing room. And the primary reason why I'm sharing that with you is because there's a lot of people that you know that are in that exact same boat, but you just have no idea. Because one, not everybody talks about money, and a lot of people don't talk about their struggles, or they don't want to let you in to know those types of things, which is why you never want to judge anyone when you're meeting them or when you're conversing with them or connecting with them, because you don't know what's going on behind the scenes. So that was kind of what really fueled me. And then when I started to realize, okay, I'm making like $500 a month. That's more than what I thought the loan repayment was. Then I made 1,000. Then someone convinced me to get to an event, this is my plug, get to events because they change everything. I took unpaid vacation. I used airline miles and I roomed with 3 women I did not know. Okay. So talk about like putting it all on the line, right? And I was working full-time corporate America, 50 plus hours a week, traveling in the United States for my job. But I was like, I got to do this. I just got to see what this is about. So I went to this event And then the lights went off for me. And I literally just like got so laser focused. And as soon as I went to that event, I went from, I think I was manager, which means I only had 2 consultants, maybe not even, to executive within a couple weeks, because I was so fired up about this opportunity. And so a new vision came to life, a vision that I could see my son get on the bus on his first day of kindergarten and off the bus on his first day of kindergarten. The current life that I was living would never have allowed for that, ever. And it was something that I was so passionate about, and that it would like literally bring me to tears every time I would think about it. So I spent the next 10 months, and that's exactly what I did. I got laser focused, and I just focused on helping other people to achieve their goals physically and financially. And within 10 months, I earned a 6 and then on to a multiple 6-figure income. I turned in my notice. I'm official corporate dropout. And that was 7 years ago, literally, probably within like a week from now. And I've never looked back. And I would tell people all the time, like, the only way in this business, we talk about it as cheesy, but the only way really to fail is to quit, because you can keep going. I have been through so many peaks and valleys in this business. And I want to be vulnerable with you, because maybe you're having a high season right now, or maybe you're coming off of a low season, whatever it is. But I will tell you, ultimately, what has gotten me through the past 8 years is always focusing on the good times, the people that I've helped, and the difference that I make in the lives of other people, and what I have accomplished, not what I haven't accomplished. And when I think about those things, it literally propels me and fuels me every single day. Okay. Because you're going to get no's. You're going to get people that are going to tell you this is some crazy thing that you got like sucked into. I mean, I don't get that now, but I did get that in the beginning. A year after I started Isogenics, coworkers came back to me and they're like, "Oh, are you still selling shakes from your trunk?" And I was like, "Haha, yes, I am. And I'm making more than double what I was making before I left my job." And they're like, "What?" So if anything, use it as fuel to your fire to keep going, and just to prove all those people that, you know, you're true to you, and you're going to do exactly what you said you're going to do. It might not happen in the same time frame that you had originally planned, but that's okay. That's why we keep setting goals, and we set smaller goals so we can achieve them, even if we might not hit the big goal at that, you know, time we anticipated. There's plenty of times where I've missed goals. So I'm giving you permission to go ahead and miss your goals and just keep setting new ones.
Yeah. I mean, I was going to say, I mean, all the lives and the stories that you will never hear about, right? I mean, that really like is what keeps me up at night too, because there's always so many stories that there are people on your team or impacts, you know, lives that you've impacted that you will honestly never even hear about. That ripple effect is so powerful.
Well, and one thing that I'll tell you is, if you ever get a message from anyone, I have like what I call a brag board. And anytime I'm feeling down, I just look at that brag board, and it reminds me of the difference that I've made in other people. And it allows me to push all those negative Nellies and Nancy's and naysayers out of the way, so that I can really focus on what I'm here to do.
I love that brag board.
Yeah. All right. So I have some questions. Can I ask y'all some questions? Okay. In the comments, I was really curious from you guys, how many of you are like primarily focused on collagen? Give me a 1 in the comments. Okay. How many of you are primarily focused on nutrition? Give me a 2. I should have been more specific about that. And if you're 50-50, give me a 3. Or if there's some other ratio that you would say, like you're 70-30 or whatever it is. Okay, so most of you are still 50-50. Okay, awesome. That's good, because I'm going to give you some tips and some verbiage for both, so that this way, no matter what direction you are going right now, you'll get something out of this. Because I really believe one of the areas that I personally get caught up the most is kind of like what to say next. So I might be able to like initiate that conversation, but then I start to freeze up when they write back like, "Okay, sure." And then I'm like, what am I supposed to say? I mean, I know I'm not alone. Like, I'm human, I'm an anyone. I had no network marketing experience coming into this business at all. So what you see is what you get, like everything is what I've just learned. And I will say, I know Amanda has some phenomenal speakers that come in from all different teams, which is so valuable, because the way that I built my business was I took a little bit from everybody and I made it my own. So just because I'm going to share with you guys some verbiage doesn't mean this is the verbiage you have to use. Just like I think recently Zach might have shared some verbiage, or even Del Rey shared some verbiage on corporate calls, right? And I'll take it and I'll always twist it to be my own. So it's true to me and it's authentic and real. That's so important, especially with scripts. And when you're coaching your own teammates to make sure so they don't sound like a robot, right? Okay. So I'm curious, before I kind of like verbally vomit on you all, which I don't want to do. I'm curious, sorry, I got to get comfortable. Okay. What you guys want to hear about the most? Is it follow-up verbiage? Is it time management? Is it social media? In the comments, if there's something that's kind of weighing on your mind, I want to hear from you. I can touch on all of them a little bit, or I can really focus in on one area. And I just want to make sure that you're getting what you want and need out of this. Okay, follow-up verbiage would be great. Follow-up. Okay, there we go. Perfect, because I've got lots of those for you. Okay, there's a few things before we go into follow-up verbiage I just want to stress. I want to stress being intentional with, if you're using social media. If you're using social media, drop me a 4 in the comments. Oh man, 4. Okay, so everybody's using social media. Okay, be intentional with your posts. If you go look at my social media, almost every single post that I put up asks them a question somewhere in the post. Even if it's something so petty as to, like, this isn't petty, but I asked people about the whole Britney Spears debacle, okay? Because I just wanted to know, like, who's following this? Who's invested in this? I oddly am invested in it because I'm the same age as her and I feel like I've grown up with her, right? But I will tell you, people come out of the woodworks with engagement on that stuff. So you want to make sure, I want you guys to be, social media isn't what it was when I started 8 years ago. So we've had to get really creative as to how we can leverage it. So find a way with every post to ask some kind of question, even if it feels insanely silly, because it will prompt your people to respond. And let me tell you, they want to give you their opinion. They do. Everybody has an opinion about something, right? So that's really, really important. If you are not using TikTok or Instagram, I am going to encourage you to pick one. Okay. I don't love TikTok, but TikTok loves us. Okay. And that's something really important to know. If you're not a dancer, don't feel like TikTok is only for dancers. You can make these silly, ridiculous videos and just copy what everybody else is doing, and you'll get traction from people. All right. You can find what other people are doing in isogenics and just recreate it and make it your own. That's what it is. Copycat USA is all Instagram and TikTok are. I am going to, before I finish this call, drop a video in the comments about how to curate content for Instagram. How many of you know, do you guys know what curating content is? No. Okay. I didn't either until I took Eric Worre, who is like the network marketing master. If you have never read his book, Go Pro, this is your sign to go grab that book. I'm sure Amanda probably has talked about this at some point. I took a training that he had, and this girl was talking about curating content. And I'm like, curating content? What? She's like, her following and her engagement increased massively. So I'm going to drop the video on how to do this, but it's leveraging an app called Repost. And there's a few others out there that'll allow you to find other people's posts. You get to save them in their entirety, the graphic and the comments, and then you can reuse them and it gives them credit. I know this sounds silly, but there's 2 reasons why this is so important. It's important because it's less time you're spending in trying to come up with your own content. That's why it's called curating content. So you're taking someone else's content and you're recycling it. You can reuse their image and create your own verbiage. You can create your own image and reuse their verbiage, or both. It doesn't matter, but it saves so much time. I mean, insane amounts of time. And they said 70% of your Instagram, if you're using Instagram, should be curated content, not your own content. I was like, what? Like, I had never been doing that before. Well, guess what? I was like, okay, I'm going to try it. We're going to see if this works, y'all. My following has increased drastically, and so has my engagement. Sometimes I can get 1,000 likes on a post. I used to get like 10. Okay, now it's not every post. So it's some of them that are funnier. But I will say curating content is the way to go. And I created a little video tutorial on my phone showing you guys exactly how to do it. And I'm going to drop that video in the comments so you guys have it. I just need to make sure I pull it up and find it before the call is over. So I'm doing that as I speak. I'm trying to multitask. And here it is. Hold on 2 seconds. Okay. All right. Copy. All right. I am dropping it in the comments right now. And you guys can copy that. And that is all yours. Okay. It's how to curate content. If you have questions, you can DM me anytime. I will give Amanda a private lesson so that she knows how to do it if she doesn't already know how to do it. So you can also leverage her. She's like, oh gosh, here we go. But really, it's because I want you guys to spend your time wisely and make sure that what you're doing is income producing activities like these follow-ups we're getting ready to talk about. Creating content for your social media, I hate to say it, but it's just not really income producing. So anytime you can leverage stuff that's already created is going to be really helpful, or even resharing content that's on Isagenix Instagram account or their Facebook account. It's really easy to share things on Instagram without lowering your traction. All right, I just get so excited about social media because it's like this big, dark, mysterious hole, and trying to figure it out, it feels like a great challenge to me. But I want to talk about follow-ups, and I want to talk about prospecting. I'm going to start off talking about collagen because that is hot and fresh right now. And it's such a simple system that we're using for introducing collagen to people and also getting into much larger accounts and businesses than we have historically. So, sorry about that. So right now within my team, our focus is on hair salons, nail salons, med spas, and medical practices, okay? So those people that you know are already talking about collagen, or their clients or patients are asking about collagen. It's kind of like that easy button. The same thing is going to apply with the adaptogen elixir when it comes out, because you know that like more than 50% of society is stressed out right now for one reason or another, or they were stressed out, okay? And people need holistic solutions to help manage their stress. Me included. I have been stressed out the past 2-3 days. I could probably eat adaptogen elixir by the gallon, but Isagenix didn't send me enough, so I can't do that. Okay, so here's some verbiage that I'm going to drop in the comments for salon owners and stylists, okay? And it's silly, stupid. You can say something like, I can only imagine how many people ask you about collagen each day. What are your thoughts? So why is this a great question? Okay, you're not asking them, do they use collagen? Okay, that's a yes or no question, and that will potentially end the conversation right there. Or if you're smart, you would keep going and asking open-ended questions, but this is an open-ended question right here. What are your thoughts? So you get them to start talking about it, and you get to know exactly how they feel about it, which opens up the door for conversation. Well, okay, what are your thoughts? If they like it, you can say, well, great, what kind do you use? Do you recommend it to your clients? Is this something that adds value to them? Do you make a profit off of it? Is it something that you sell here? Like, you can start asking them all of these questions, right? If they say that, well, they don't know, they haven't really found one that they like, you can say, well, I would love to have 15 minutes of your time to share with you a little bit more about how collagen could not only be a value add for your clients or your patients, but also how it could add to your bottom line. Okay. Or increase the health of your bank account. You know, so many people in this profession right now are struggling because they were out of business for at least 4 to 6 months, right? So they would love to recoup that and then some. A lot of these people now realize they need a second stream of income. They're working a very taxing job. I know this personally because I was in a salon this past week in Atlanta. It's one of the biggest salons in all of Atlanta. And I was there from 8 to 8. And I will tell you, when I walked out of there at 8 p.m., I could barely move. And this is somebody who is an athlete. Like, I can run 4 to 5 miles and be fine. I was about to die from being on my feet that long. So, you know, that's how they're also feeling. And when they walk away at the end of the day, they're not even making that much money. So the idea that they could potentially make $50 a person, because that's double bonus, okay, because you know they're going to enroll 2 in a week, $50 a person plus passive income, they're like, really? That's a lot of money for them. They're oftentimes not making that off one person coming into the salon, okay? So anyway, to kind of go back to this, these people are working so hard. And like, it looks like Amanda said, you know, they're not even back to the full schedule, or they lost a lot of customers. So this is a great way for them to be able to provide something to them that has a passive stream of income. I always tell them, think about it like this. Let's say someone moved, or they decided they moved to another side of town, or they wanted to go somewhere else cheaper to get their hair cut, or to have their work done. Well, guess what? If they still order collagen from you, you still retained that customer and an income stream from them. Before, you would have had to find another client to fill that spot. So it's allowing you to serve many more people. And that's really how we promote it to them. The other thing is, if you have not seen the video that Susan Miller has done, have you seen this video, Amanda, about the salon industry shift? Okay. Well,
There's a few of them out there. I can't remember if I've seen that exact one.
Okay. We'll get you guys this one so you can post it in your page. It's one I think corporate has kind of somewhat endorsed. But it is, Susan Miller has industry and a background in the salon industry. Okay. She had her own makeup line. She was a salon owner. So she can really relate to a lot of the people and speak the language that they're used to hearing. It's a great video to say, I'd love for you to just check out this super quick video and see if this resonates with you. It will resonate with them if they watch it, or bring it with you and watch it with them right there for that 10 minutes or your 15 minutes you have with them. It'll do the work for you. So that's another next step. So if they say, you know, oh, I'd love to learn more, you ask for 15 minutes of their time. And you can either bring them, if you do it yourself, you can go in with the video, or you can do a call and bring in your upline or your sideline, or whoever is going to be your support team that might have a little bit more information or a little bit more confidence around the business opportunity as it relates to collagen. So that's kind of how to take that to the next step with some of these salon owners. Another thing, if they say yes, so like if you say, do you or your customers use collagen, and they say yes, I'm going to drop this in the comments here. I'll ask them what kind, and I'll ask them if they're open to learning more about a type 1 liquid marine collagen that's getting jaw-dropping results. And I typically will have like 1 or 2 pictures on my phone that I can just flash to them. Even if you have your own, that's even better. Like, my husband has had an epic hair transformation, and anytime I show it to people, they're like, I'm like, yeah, that's my husband. Like, I know him. And people, I mean, it's instant. They're like, okay, I need this. How much is it? How often do I use it? So it's that visual that you can relate, or this is my friend, or this is my teammate, or whatever. You just, as long as it's relatable. And you can talk about how what kind of results their clients can expect and why they want it, and how this could be different than, let's say, I'm going to give you an example. In the salon industry for hair, they use a product called Nutrafol. Okay. Nutrafol is only for your hair. And I explained to them, this type 1 marine collagen is for it's all over. Okay. You're going to feel better in your joints. You're going to see like your skin is going to completely change. It's going to be hydrated. It's going to be firmer. Yes, you might see some hair thickening, but imagine if you saw hair thickening and all these other things. Like your people are going to go nuts. And Nutrafol takes like a year to get results. This could take like 30 to 60 days. How about that? And I can't even tell you how many people last week I converted off of Nutrafol onto collagen. It was amazing. It was like the best high ever. That's the kind of highs I like. So this is how I really talk to them about earning an extra stream of income and really providing to their clients like that extra value, because they're going to ultimately look like a hero. And that's what they want. They want them to walk out of there and be like, I'm going to send everybody here. This place is the bomb. Okay, follow up. So let's say, for example, you just have like your buddy next door, or just a generic contact, maybe not necessarily like one of these big salons, and it's somebody that you want to follow up with. I love this follow-up. I'm dropping in the comments for you. And what I do is I always am running a 30-day challenge, always, okay? Whether the upline has one, my downline has one, it's irrelevant to me. I'm running one, because if I can get 2 to 3 people running together on a 30-day challenge, that energy that they feed off of each other typically results in 1 or 2 of those people saying, oh my gosh, my girlfriend noticed that my lips looked fabulous and she asked me if I got injections. And when I told her that it was just collagen, she went and told 3 of her friends and they all ordered. Like, and this is a true story, but it was actually 6 friends on a girls' trip. All 6 women thought their friend had lip injections. It was just collagen. And they're like, this collagen is so cheap compared to lip injections. Sign me up, right? So you can kind of see like how that energy goes. So I'm always running a 30-day challenge, or and primarily the reason why we do challenges and we group people together is because they do feed off of each other. That to me is really, really powerful. So it's a great way without any pressure. And I always say, would you like the link to get started? Because it's so easy with the links to be able to get people to order quickly and to just kind of like almost wipe your hands of it. All right. Just make sure they take their before and after pictures. All right. And last but not least, this is one of my favorites. So for those of you who are more focused on the nutrition side, you can use a lot of this verbiage for nutrition. And I still use it. I just tweak it, but it kind of gives you the bones of what to use. I love this follow-up verbiage for people who like your social media posts, not those who comment. Okay. Because a lot of people just like to click the likes. They don't like to comment because God forbid anybody sees that they comment on your network marketing post. It's a curse. And some people won't even like, but there's nothing you can do about them. I wish there was like a button you could do that you could like see who viewed it. You could see who all your stalkers were. That's the one thing I love about stories on Instagram. You can see who the stalkers are. So you can actually do this with Instagram for your stalkers. You should do it. Or you can say, hey, I noticed you've been watching my stories. And I wanted to see if you had any questions. Oh, I've done it, Ashley. I have done this. Don't think I haven't. But it's funny because they're like, or people who do a poll in your stories and they click it and you message them and they're like, they're interested, like, oh, it was an accident. I'm like, well, if it wasn't really an accident, I'm always here to help you, because I have gotten orders off that. Okay, last but not least, this is my like, stalkers, whatever it is, verbiage. And I love this verbiage and it works because you're almost taking the person out of the picture. You're telling them, thank you for supporting my post. Thank you for liking. Thank you for viewing, whatever it is. But you're just thanking them for their engagement or stalkership or whatever it's called. And you just say, thanks for supporting me. If you ever have an interest in what I do or what I'm doing, please let me know. I'm looking for people. You can also say something like, I'm looking for people who want to lose more weight, age more youthfully, whatever it is that you want to approach them with. If you know anyone, a referral is the best compliment. And I always say that. If anything, just keep doing what you're doing. Your support means the world to me. I always say that. And it is the best way to build confidence. I had a girl who tagged me on a post this weekend. One of her friends who I never would have known was asking about collagen. And she was like, oh my gosh, my friend Renee's before and after pictures are amazing. She doesn't use my collagen. I don't even know. She ordered for me one time. Okay. Guess what? I told the girl like 5 bullet points about our collagen, and I left her a little voice memo over Facebook Messenger. She's like, I want to order it. I sent her the link and she enrolled, and that was it. And I then sent my friend a $25 gift card to Amazon as a thank you for referring her. Okay. But that's how you're building those relationships, and sending a message just like this is exactly what you're doing. You're being authentic and true to you. Okay. But you're asking for referrals to grow your business. And that was kind of like my last point, is make sure you're asking for referrals in everyone and anyone that you talk to, because you really don't ever know what that's going to turn into. It could turn into an incredible business partner. There was a woman at the salon event that I went to I drove to Atlanta for one of my business partners, and we did this event. It was a customer appreciation event. They have 8 salons in Atlanta with over 400 stylists, and they are rolling out our collagen elixir to all of the salons, and they gave all of the stylists an opportunity to join the business. It is a huge opportunity for my business partner. Huge. Okay. She believes they're going to max her out. Like, that's how exciting it is for her. And I'm like, come on, go. So we went down there, and it was so interesting meeting and talking with their clients. And a woman said, I'm on a fixed income. This really isn't for me, but if you wouldn't mind texting me, if I can think of anyone else, I'll send them your way. Well, guess what? As soon as I got home, she texted me her friend who owns a very high-end nail salon in Atlanta with multiple locations. And she wanted me to reach out to her to make a connection. And it was all because she and I connected. And I said, if you know of anyone else in the area that might be interested in this. So ask for the referrals and ask for business. It's so important. Even if you screw up what you say later, it doesn't matter, because truly you can't say the wrong thing to the right person. Like, if somebody really understands how incredible this opportunity is, and don't worry, Amanda's not going to let you screw it up. She won't. She'll be right there to pick you back up if you say anything that you shouldn't have said or you left something out. But that's the beauty of this business, is that really the right people are going to be drawn to you as soon as you are able to show them right there what is available to them. Does anyone have any questions? I want to stop right there because we're already like over time and I don't want to keep you guys all night, but does anyone have any questions? I agree. Links have changed the game. I wish we had this 7 years ago. Does anyone, if you don't have questions, that's okay. I don't want to pressure y'all.
Would you mind sharing more on referrals? Like, what do you say? Like, what, I know I caught one example, like who do you know in the area who might be interested? Like, what kind of other things do you say when you're asking for referrals?
Yeah, so I try to keep it really simple, because I feel like if I try to overcomplicate asking for referrals, one, I'm going to get tongue-tied, because I do. I think we all do, like if we say too much. But also, I want to make sure that whatever I say, other people can confidently say, because I think the more we complicate it, it's harder to duplicate. So I'll just say to them, a referral is the very best compliment. Is there anyone else that you know that would be looking to add an additional income stream or want to bring a really incredible results-driven product into their business? Who do you know? And it's really about who do you know? And I wouldn't just leave it at that. Okay, so many of us just do that one ask, but go back to them. Be like, I was thinking about you. And I'm like, and you stroke their egos too. You're so well connected. Everybody loves you. You know so many people, or I know that you've got to know people who would really benefit from this. Who could you introduce me to? And I'll even tell them, like, I promise, I always pay it forward. And I'm so grateful for those referrals because my business is based on referrals. And I'm not afraid to tell them that. Because if you think about it in today's society, almost every business is referral based driven. Okay. Your hairstylists, your financial planners, your bankers, your CPAs. I mean, I'm in networking groups and it's all based on referring. My girl who did my floors and my carpet in my house, I probably refer people to her every other week. And really, that's how we're growing our business. So we should never be afraid to ask for them and just ask outright. Who can you connect me with? And I would also be very specific. This is something I've learned through my networking groups. The more specific you can be, the better. So you say to them, do you know anyone who knows this chiropractor in this office? Or do you know who the owner is of Sola Salons? I'm looking to get connected with people just like that. Because they're all of a sudden they can be like, oh, okay, I can make that connection, who that person is. So that's the kind of people she wants to be connected with. Oh yeah, I know so-and-so and they own this salon or they own this thing or whatever it is, or they practice here or this kind of therapy. So that's how, the more specific you can be, I think the more people are going to be able to help you. That was a great question. And that was a really lengthy response that I had.
No, that was amazing. Thank you. Such a good example.
Yep.
Anyone else? This has been so amazing. And I appreciate all of the tangible things that we can just use, right?
Yes, it's so important. I think that we have such a gift here. And that was the number one thing that I went around at that salon that day and said to all of these people is, this owner of the salon has given you a gift. This opportunity that we have with this business and this product and this company and this industry and this compensation plan is a true gift. And I want you guys to feel that, like, viscerally, so deep when you're connecting with people and talking about this, because that is going to just bleed out of you. That is where people, they feel not convinced, that's not the right word, but that's why they're going to join you, because they feel that passion, just like you're sharing it with them. It's hard to say no to somebody that's really passionate. So carry that with you in all that you do this week and going forward. And I can't wait to hear how you guys start to explode now and after celebration as things really start to heat up this time of year. Is so exciting.
It is. Yes, for sure. All right, you guys, thank her in the chat. I know you guys have a bunch already, but I'm so grateful and so much to come with the adaptogen elixir. You've been using it. Are you out of your 10?
So mine came smashed and I got 30.
No way. Lucky you.
Yeah. So I'm a little spoiled, but I'm saving some for when everyone comes in, because I want everyone to be able to try it when it goes live that day. But yeah, I love it. I instantly felt I had like this stressful situation that happened and I came home and I'm like, where is it? Where is the adaptogen elixir?
Yeah. Yes. I was seriously shocked. Like, I feel like I've told everyone on the team already a million times, but I was like, I've used Ionix multiple times a day for years. I use BIA, e-shots, all the things. And I was floored at the difference.
Yeah.
Like, and then when I ran out, I could tell the next day, like when I just took Ionix, I was shocked.
Yeah, I have that little like extra edge. And also, if you guys are not following along on Elixir University or just hearing some of the training that's going on, you're going to hear personal stories. And I think I'm a true believer in that having those personal stories in your tool belt, especially when you yourself have not experienced the effects of it yet, are so important so that you can really share it with the same passion that those who have tried it have, knowing what it's doing for people. So it's kind of like, if someone says, well, I haven't gotten to my goal weight yet, I don't want to share yet. Well, no, you want to share now because you never know whose life you could change as a result of sharing. Why wait till you hit your goal? It's the same thing with this. Like, you've heard all these people who are just talking about how this is changing their life, their sleep, their energy, their mood. It is exactly why you want to start sharing it now and just using their stories. Borrow their belief.
I love that. Yeah, absolutely. With all the products, right?
Yeah.
Stories.
Absolutely.
Stories. All right. Thanks again.
Yay.
So thankful for you.
Thank you.
Have an awesome night, everyone.
Thanks, guys. You were great.